just left Ystad, the train station. Joined the Skåneleden here. That's kind of the plan for today. So right now I'm here. The aim is to try and get to about here. Worst case is to kind of stay somewhere around here. So from here through to here is about 37 kilometers, and roughly 18 from there to about there is difficult. The rest is either easy or intermediate, so we'll see how it goes. If I can get 37 done today comfortably, I will be very, very happy with myself. I realised when I recorded that little bit back at the beginning that I hadn't actually explained the trip plan. So the whole thing is 160 kilometers over about 5 days. That's the estimate anyway, the number of days. From Ystad, then heading east and then north to Kivik, and then west and then south back to Ystad, so it's a loop. And this is the only major part of the Skåneleden that I haven't been to before. So I've been wanting to get this done for a while. Behind me you can see the Ystad port. And the aim today is to get 37 kilometers done if possible, because then that sets me up for a much easier hike for the rest of the trip. It's about 10 o'clock in the morning. I just passed Strand, sorry. So that's about the first 8k done, and that's the easy section. So the section I'm on now is 18k, and this is the difficult one. So if I'm able to get past this now, I'm still feeling good, then I'll move on and do the final 11. The trail has come off the beach and onto this road, and the reason is all of this area, the beach is over there, all of this area is a military area where they do live exercises and shooting, etc, 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 and there's signs all around. So livsfarligt means life danger, yeah, protected area, blah 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 blah. So not allowed to go there. So the military have all of this, and it's a good 8-10 kilometers long. But I guess the plus side is that for this section, it's quick and easy road walking. Well, if all the signs didn't tell you this was a military area, I think these two probably will give you a bit of an idea, although they have seen better days. They're just outside this maybe barracks or something, I'm not sure. So far we've done 16.2k, which is almost halfway there, and 4.9 to Kålseberga. So on the map, we started here, we've done to here, we just finished this road section here, so we're here right now. Kålseberga is here, and Ales Stenar, which is the Ales Stones, I think, is here. So there's a coffee shop, there's a coffee and a place to eat here. So basically my plan now is what, 5k, so go there, eat, and eventually after that, there's no distances here, I don't think, no, is to go from here and then scoot up to here, and I think I can stay there tonight. So I think that most, if not all, of the rest of the path to, is it Kålseberga or Kålseberga, is along these kind of hills and cliffs here, past Ales Stenar, and then probably downhill, because I know that the cafe is down at the bottom of a steep hill. But this is right on the top of, I'm not sure if you call them cliffs, but because I've not had a look. There's quite a drop down to the sea. There's actually, well, you can't see who knows, a paraglider over there as well. So this is what is supposed to be the difficult section, so I'm kind of keeping my fingers crossed that this stays like this, because if this is as difficult as it gets, then I'm a happy bunny. Wouldn't be a Skåneleden hike without a few cows. Quite a mixed bag up here as well. They're literally all just sat next to the path. Hello, you want to say hi? It'll probably run away, but let's see. Hey. There you go. The rest of them were just chill as well. Who can blame them? That's what's next to them. So this is the pathway after Siberia. Well, this is saying 13 kilometers to where we're staying tonight, whereas my calculations say 11, so it's not the first time the Skåneleden's got it wrong. But what I think may be happening is, this is where we are right now. That's where we want to get to, and that's Borby Strand bad. So it could be that the campsite's a couple of kilometers before the strand itself. So we'll see. Once again, whoever it is that decides where the trails go has put one on top of a beach dune for some reason I know not. I mean, it's super soft on the soles of my feet, which are, after 30 something kilometers, fairly tired and fairly sore, but still on top of dunes. That's where I come from. Beautiful beach. I mean, awesome beach. I could probably just cheat and go down there, to be honest. The sand near the water looks quite compact. But still, why would you put a trail on top of a sand dune? I've dropped off the top of the dune, and down here I think it's harder sand, so therefore easier to walk on. Morning. So I just left the campsite about 5 minutes ago. As I said before, it's a Borby Strand campsite. It's a paid campsite. Very nice, but at 290 krones a night, a little expensive, and that's just for a tent space. Although it's peak season, so you know. Right, so it's day 2, as you can see. I am going on this beautiful beach. Yesterday, the last 10-12 kilometers of yesterday was kind of deep sand. That exhausted me, it completely wasted me. I did not enjoy that, so I'm going to go off on a rant at some point about the Skåneleden and how they set up the trails from time to time. But let's talk about today a little bit. So like, day 2, there's 2 sections today. The first one is roughly 20 kilometers and is listed as very easy. So I'll just show you what I'm walking on and what I'm walking by. As you can see, it's beautiful. So my aim is to try and finish this section, which finishes at Simrishamn, by about midday. And then the second section is a hard section. Again, 20 kilometers, 21 kilometers. So I probably won't finish that. In fact, I won't finish that today. I know that. I'm too tired. but there is a campsite about 10 to 12 kilometers into it, which will be perfect to stop at tonight, and then I can push through Kivik tomorrow and then get into the forest section, because there's 2 days of basically going up the coast and then 3 days of coming back around the loop through forests. So yeah, that's the plan for today. Gotta say, this is so beautiful. The reason for the long sleeves and for the hat is the sun. When I first looked at this trip, it basically said 5 days of storms. And then I looked a few days later and it was 5 days of cloudy weather. And now it's almost blue skies. It's amazing how Swedish weather changes. Alright, so about 5 hours of hiking down to Simrishamn. Hopefully as easy as this, because this is just delicious. And we'll see what the day brings. I think this is Skåneleden. Just stopped off the Skåneleden for a few minutes here, just to get my feet out, get them dried and aired a little bit. I don't know what it is with this part of Sweden and guns everywhere. That's at least the 5th or 6th I've seen so far, and it's not like they're pointing at Denmark. Denmark's actually to the west. No, yeah, to the west. These are pointing more to the east. That's the pathway I've come. I'm about 3 to 4k from Simrishamn. So we're off the road now, at least for this section anyway. And on this kind of very nice soft ground. These guys are just doing some work in this area on the background, in the background rather. Outskirts of Simrishamn. It's just taken about an hour to find this Lägerplats at Skåneleden. Talk about well hidden. On the plus side, there's nobody else here, so that's good. Although someone has left their towels behind at some point. So yeah, the time is now just after 3. All I'm going to do is just kind of picture up and then just chill out for the next 15 hours or so. Tomorrow's going to be at least 30k over, there's some socks there as well. I wonder if people are coming back over Stenshuvud. So that's the first 15k at least is difficult. The second 15k is intermediate, so I want to make sure I'm fully rested for that. Also, today I met a guy called Martin, a fellow hiker on the Skåneleden. He's on day 4. That's the first time I've met someone that actually recognised me, which was kind of strange but kind of cool as well. So Martin, hello, thank you very much for the information on Stenshuvud, and even more thank you for the information on the Lägerplats after Kivik, because Martin mentioned that there's no water there, which was going to be where I supplied, because that's where I'm going to stay, or planning on staying tomorrow night. So thank you very, very much for that information. Just realised I forgot to show you the campsite itself. So the entrance is there. It's very hard to find. There's at least 2 good tent places actually. This one looks pretty flat, and this is where I'm going to go tonight. At the back of the Vindwood is at least one more, maybe another one as well. I've not seen any ants so far. The toilet is about 300 meters roughly, kind of in that direction, but it's a water toilet as well, and you can get fresh water. As you can see, the Vindwood itself, there's no firewood that I've seen, but if you have an axe or a saw you can chop this stuff up. So yeah, maybe 3 places for tents, at least 6 people if not 8 people inside the Vindwood itself. Actually it might stretch out a little further over there. There might be a 4th tent spot. Nice place. I just wish it was better signposted. Morning, it's the start of day 3, so I'm all packed up and ready to go. That is where I had the tent last night. The plan today is from here over Stenshuvud, down into Kivik, then do a left, and about 15 kilometers after Kivik there is a campsite I'm staying tonight. The actual distance is questionable because the website and the trail are giving different distances, but I think you're looking at 33, 34k, something like that today. And if I get this one done, then the other next 2 days are much easier. It's interesting, last night actually in this campsite, I'll just show you a bit more of the campsite. There were several people came in at different times last night, and every single one of them turned back around as soon as they saw the tent, and the tent is was pitched here, so right at the very entrance. So I think what folks do is that they come up here like just for the evening, just have a barbecue or something and then go home, and they don't want to disturb you if you are camping, which kind of makes sense, right? We have a slightly curious calf here, a couple more as well. So over there, oh hello, I think this one's coming to say hello, and then a bunch of mums along the rest of the field, and they're all stood right next to that, the sea. Well, let's just see if they want to have a chat. You're not really want to move, are you? Hello, you want to say hi? Well, that's unusual. Normally they run. Alright, time to move on. Folks, can I come past, please? Is that okay with you? Thank you. And you as well? You want to say hi? No? Okay. Okay. And further off, it's about 7:30 in the morning. Almost no wind, maybe 17 degrees. This is a really good time to hike. By about 10 o'clock it'll be much hotter, and that sun might come through the clouds as well. I've reached Kivik, done about 2.4k, and Stenshuvud is the big kind of stop. So Hovang I'm not going to. That's the place that Martin mentioned yesterday, I think. So started, was it Beskimo? No, that was yesterday. Started somewhere around here, so we're now here. So up to Rurum, so going inland, up to Stenshuvud, up to Kivik, and then from there, Havang is I'm going to be stopping. I think it's either Brøsarp, or no, it's Ventelingen. I think that's where I'm stopping, because it's from Kivik to there is about 15k, and from about here to here is roughly 15 to 17k. So that's the plan today. Kivik is this gorgeous little kind of port. It's beautiful, and there's just people doing yoga and wandering down in their kind of night clothes to take a dip in the water. I guess that's one way of trying to stop people from speeding. It is a very fast road here. Rurum. Nice place. I was hoping that they would have a coffee shop open at about 9 in the morning, but doesn't seem that way. Beautiful church off in the end. The hike so far is, in the distance rather, the hike so far has actually been fairly easy, very, very pleasant. A lot of road walking, but a lot of trees like this, so you get shade from the sun. I'm expecting kind of the hard stuff to start now. This road's going up quite a bit, so we'll see. This made me chuckle. Kivik, 700 meters. Google Maps shows wrong. I love it. I absolutely love it. So now we're entering the national park off the road, and that's the direction where Stenshuvud is. That's the road I've just come down. I've seen quite a lot of cars come along here as I've been walking up, so very curious to see what this place is like. I'm praying they've got a coffee shop or something. I could murder a coffee and a pastry. But yeah, on the map, all like the jaggedy lines, which I think is where Stenshuvud is, are just up here. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I want to see exactly what all the talk is about. Just spent a very pleasant 20 minutes kind of snoozing in this glade. I needed that. It's just the pathway's there. So I'm going to rejoin now and make my way over Stenshuvud. I think these were the steps that Martin was talking about, so these are on the other end. Very convenient, I have to say. These are much easier. This is the path along the beach after Kivik up to, I think, Hedlinge. Going through this kind of forest between, well, it's after Kivik, the beach section at Kivik is right in the middle, before you turn left to go inland north of Kivik. And there's this beautiful smell, and I think it's coming from the trees. It's like been all the way through. It's really delightful. When you come off the beach and start heading inland, there is a water point there. It's just at the end of where all the cars are. You can see there's a washing line there, so it might be a private area, I'm not sure. If you want to know where it is, there's a little kiosk about 300 or 400 meters after you come off the beach and start heading inland. Ask the guy at the kiosk and he'll tell you where the water is. He'll explain it's where the house that's got the toilets in it, which is this one. Although they're locked, so you can't get in, and it's the other side of there, which is where I just showed. It's about 3:45 in the afternoon. I've got, I think, about 2 hours, 8 kilometers before I get to Vanselingen, and as far as I can tell, looking at the map, the kind of territory is going to be like this. Most, if not all, seems to be walking on pathways like this. It's pretty hot, I've got to say, probably mid-20s, but isn't that much cloud, so yeah, I'm hoping I don't get sunburnt. But yeah, 2 hours to go, so should be there for about 6 o'clock-ish, and then a good solid 9-10 hours sleep, and ready for the last 2 days. Look out for the train. This is different. It's a genuine train crossing. Oh, nothing that way. Nothing that way. Definitely never seen that before. This section's just after that train crossing. This is so nice. Nice, soft and spongy under foot. A lot of shade, a lot of wind, which is good. And just a nice, pleasant hike. Also a nice smell. I think there's some more of those fir trees around here because something smells awful nice. Well, that I think is a new breed of cow. I'll stay away there a bit. This one's just chilling on the floor, covered in flies. I'll walk around, don't worry. There you go. Again, the Skåneleden provides. I think I'm about 4k from where I need to get to, Ystad, I think it's called. Still going through farm, kind of farmland, but as you can see, it is very beautiful. That house in the distance must have an amazing view. We're a little high here in Skåne terms anyway, so you can see a long way around. Actually, that might be your golf course, or maybe not. Definitely peak time in Sweden. Might be able to get across now. Yay! And this is the road back onto the Skåneleden. The good news, 4.2 kilometers left of Ystad. That puts us here, and this is where you kind of come off towards Brosarp, and we're going to move on down to here. There's some pretty big barrels being built. I don't know if the camera is picking this up, but those go way down. And these here, I don't want to go too far in case they collapse. But you can see, just there and just there, the path just comes, you can see the sign there. The path comes up this way. There's more of these. I think it's just sand under this hill, so it must be really easy to burrow under. Morning, just left Ystad. I can't recommend that place enough. It's huge. You can easily, there was what, 7 or 8 tents there, and it didn't feel crowded at all. So you could easily get 15, maybe 20 before you started feeling crowded. Great place. Double toilets, water out of a pump, a well pump, so you need to boil it or to filter it, but I would probably rate it as one of the best lägerplats that I've stayed at ever. 2 Vindwood as well, so they were also being used, so there was 20 people there maybe, which is always funny during the night because you can hear the snoring and the grunts, but hey, it is what it is. So day 4. Today I am aiming to get to Ystad. Stretch goal is actually Skåneleden. I think that's how you pronounce it. Might be wrong, so sorry if you're Swedish. Oh, something just landed in my head. It's still in my head. Sorry. So yeah, so in total there's about 70k left. The good news, so 35 today, 35 tomorrow. The good news is that all the hard, difficult stuff is behind me now. So today there's Out of the 35k, I think 13 is listed as intermediate, including this section, which is, I'll just show you can see behind me, beautiful forest. And then the entire rest of the trip is listed as very easy. So it shouldn't be a problem just to kind of scoot through the miles. That's why 35k today is the aim, but 45 is the stretch goal. And the stretch goal is because when I did Kivik to Malmö a couple of years ago, I stopped at Skåneleden, again, sorry if I'm mispronouncing it. And if you look on my Facebook page, the banner picture at the top of the page was taken from that location. And it was so beautiful. I've been trying for a couple of years to get back there. So if it's at all possible, I'll try and get that done today. Worst case, I will be passing straight past it tomorrow, so I can at least say hi to it again. I'll just show you the view I can see right now, just coming between that little stretch of forest and moving into that stretch. So yeah, I set off early today. It's about 20 past 6. Two reasons. One, I was awake. Always good to get up and get going. But the second reason is, even though it feels quite cold right now, it's supposed to reach it's supposed to reach 30 or 31 in Ystad. And that's very difficult to hike in. So, right now it's 16, I thought it feels more like 13. So I want to take advantage of the coolness in the morning to get as much done as possible. So I'd like to be able to get 20k done by 10, although I don't think I'm going to manage that, that's too fast. But worst case, I want to get the first 20k done by midday. And then it's just a breeze after that. Cruise down to Ystad. Anywho, time to get hiking. About 2.5 years ago, I did my first kind of multi-night trip, which was Kivik to Malmö. But I took the wrong route on day one, so I ended up going across the roads. And if you watch that video, you'll see what happened. But this is the point now where the correct way, which is what I'm doing right now, and the wrong way, which is what I did 2.5 years ago, connect. So if you look behind me, I'll just switch the camera around. That hill over there, that kind of pink coloured hill, that is in that video from 2.5 years ago. So the section from now on is a section that I've walked through before. So it's going to be kind of nice to see all those old memories. I just can't remember Ystad. Can't remember the campsite. I'm trying desperately to remember what it's like. There was a very small one, almost in the middle of a kind of habitation, a small town. And Ystad is a small town, but I remember getting a really unpleasant kind of reception there. So anyway, we'll see. So yeah, I've now rejoined what I've walked before, and then it'll carry on like this for about another 28k or so. And then the route across to Malmö diverges from the route down to Ystad, Verkefort. So I'm hoping there's some water somewhere close here. Andrarum Allium Works. So this is kind of the buildings that all this path lead up to. If you're coming through Andrarum and you're looking for fresh water, this is a place that you need to find. the water taps here. It is a good 600 meters away from the aluminium factory, so you have quite a walk, but it's worth it. So slight memory lapse, it's not Ystad I'm staying at tonight, it's Kivik. And the good news there is that Ystad is actually almost the halfway point of today, a little bit further on. So I should get there probably about 1 o'clock, nicely in time for lunch. And then once I've reached Ystad, the entire rest of the hike is all very easy trails, which are so quick to get through. So my plan right now is there should be a leg of plats in about 4k, so about an hour, and then stop there. There's a further 6 onto Ystad, grab lunch, and then it's 14 down to where I'm staying tonight. Oh look, about 500 meters back I sat down and led on the road for 15 minutes. If I'd have kept going, I'd have found that. Anywho, and also because it's supposed to reach 30-31 degrees today or so, but because I'm in the forest, I don't need my hat, which is so nice. I do like the hat, but you do get hotter wearing that. So it's nice not to have to put it on yet. I will have to at some point, and the sun cream as well. But until that point comes, carry on. I don't know if the camera will pick this up, but I've got my own little constellation of flies constantly whizzing around me. So I've reached Hengja, 6k to Ystad after this. I remember this, it's actually quite a pretty place. There should be a lake down the bottom. But from here, it's 6k to Ystad and then 13 to Kivik. So from here on it's what, 19k I think. Umbruk at Hengja. We're definitely at Hengja. Yep. So 6k and then 13. Okay. I'm gonna have at least half an hour here. Probably an hour if I fall asleep. It's full of firewood. Cool. I'll just quickly show you around. So Vinford with nobody in. That's good because that's where I'm going. Firewood. Down there is the lake. And there's a kind of a grill place there as well, just in front. So the view's not too hot right now because the trees are all with leaves, whatever the right English is for that. But in winter it's nice because you get a better view of the lake. Oh, I've just woken up from the most wonderful nap. Oh, half an hour of being completely asleep. I can hear the bees and the mosquitoes and the flies kind of wandering around, well, flying around outside. But I have mosquito repellent on, so that's not a problem. Oh, and it's so cool in here. I can see, I'll just turn around. I now have visitors outside. Hopefully the camera can pick up the cars. And I can see it's way past like 25, 26 degrees out there. But in here it's what, maybe 17, it's cool, there's no humidity. Just an absolutely, you probably can't see me now, just a fantastic place to nap for a little while. So thank you to whoever puts all this stuff up and all this infrastructure in for the Skåneleden. This was, I really enjoyed that. Just leaving now, and these are my friends from earlier. Hello, do you want to come and say hi? No? Okay. They look fairly young, most of them. There might be some adults mixed in. But they're the best lawnmowers in the world, and they're just making their way up here. As you can see, they're way more scared of us. I mean, these are pretty curious, but they're way more scared of humans than humans are of them. I'll move across this side so I don't disturb them so much. Hello, you want to come and say hi? Effectively, cows are really big, really dumb dogs. So, and I love dogs. You want to come and say hi? No? Okay. Do you want to come and say hi? I don't have food. No. Okay. You folks have a good day. Bye. It's not going to be long now before these meadows are filled with this. So I've just had a quick look at the map, and if I want to go into Ystad and go to the supermarket there, then I need to actually go back along this road about 200 meters, turn right, and then it drops down into Ystad. The other alternative is to carry on Skåneleden across along this road here. You end up at Ystad also, which is the Lägerplats, and it also has water, I think, as well. So, sorry, there's a couple of cows getting frisky, and they're finished. So yeah, so I still have some termats dehydrated meals in my pack. I've only had one the entire trip. I brought 4, so I'm going to carry on to Ystad also. Hopefully they got some water. Hopefully they actually do have water there, because then I can fill up everything that I've got and then do the last 13-14k from there down to Ystad, and also make sure I've got enough water to get through the rest of the day and tomorrow morning as well. So that's the plan. Carry on with the Skåneleden. One day I'd like to know what it is that cows find so interesting about me. Just fields and fields. Just had a really bad pain in my right knee. I had to sit down just to give it a rest, because if it carries on like that I can't carry on hiking. I just started back up. I can feel it, but I'm just going to take it nice and slow, because I'm only what, 9 or 10k, excuse me, from where I'm camping tonight, and a good night's rest and then take it slow tomorrow will be fine. So I'm just going to take it slow for now. We'll just see what happens. Good news, there was a lot of pain there for a little while, but just walking very slowly and very carefully seems to have kind of worked through most of it. I can still feel it when I'm walking, but as long as I'm walking, my feet are going kind of forwards and backwards, it's more or less fine. It's when they twist laterally, or when my foot twists laterally, that I can feel a lot of pain. So I don't know what's going to happen when I stop, so we'll see. But looks like I'll be able to make it to the Lägerplats tonight. I think I'm about 5.5k away, so keep up this pace. It's now about 4 o'clock, should get there about 6, and then things get easier from that point. So all I'm going to do is just dive straight into the tent, into the bed, and just lie there and let my leg rest as long as I can. If I wake up in the morning and everything's fine, then yay. If I wake up in the morning and I can't move it, then, you know, worst case, I'll just call a taxi back to normal. But I suspect it'll wake up sore, but I should be able to just walk straight through it, as long as I take it slowly. tomorrow I think I'll be fine. So yeah, good news. So probably should be less than 2 hours now until I get to the site. I'm just, like I said, I can actually feel it going up this incline. Just take it easy, use trekking poles, and it should be okay. Check the weather for tomorrow. So Ystad is raining basically all day, and the weather's supposed to drop about 9 degrees in temperature, so that'll be good. And I brought my rain gear because Sweden, so that won't be a problem. So we may end up with quite different weather conditions tomorrow, so let's see what it brings. Morning, it's about 20 to 6. I'm just leaving Kivik. As you can probably tell, it rained a lot last night. It's expected to rain all day today, and that's fine. It drops the temperature quite a bit. That's where I have my tent. Kivik is not the biggest Ligoplatz. You might get a second tent there, but yeah, realistically it's just the one tent. So 35k today, all of it quoted as very easy. The knee is still problematic, so I'm hoping to be able to manage it like I did yesterday. I've taken some painkillers and the promise of a soft bed and a very hot shower sometime tonight, I think will hopefully get me through the day. If you stay here, the toilet and the rubbish bin are at the bottom as well. So yeah, so the first thing, hold on, I'll turn the camera around. So the first thing today is 10k down to Snuggelholm, still don't know how to pronounce that. And I'll have breakfast there and a rest. And then after that it's a straight 24k down to Ystad, hoping to find some cafes and stuff just to have a lunch or have a meal. I'll take it slow. I need to protect the knee. I can feel it. It's not happy, putting it mildly. But yeah, I think it should be okay today. Right, see you in a little while. I don't know if the camera can pick out just how thick the mist is. It did rain quite a lot last night. It's about 10 to 6 in the morning. And apart from me and the occasional bird, there's no sound. I discovered that walking downhill is very painful on the knee, but I've also discovered that walking backwards downhill has no pain. So I've just walked the entire length of this trail downhill. I'm not going to, backwards. I'm not going to get away with this very often, but you know, if I can, then this is great. I've just got a vision of doing the entire trip walking backwards. Yeah. I really don't like, excuse me, I really don't like walking through areas like this. It just feels wrong to see this done to a forest. This is the place I wanted to visit and come back to stay one night. You see the lake, so I'll say if you look at my Facebook page at the top, the banner image, I had my tent, I think, here, more or less here. And I had it aligned so that I walk up to this image in the morning and there was just mist across it. It was amazing. Yeah, I've wanted to come back here for a long time. You just look how beautiful that is. Imagine waking up to that this morning. I miss this place. It's beautiful. That's the path from that campsite I showed you. This is the beginning of the huge area here where you can just come and camp, and honestly I expected to see quite a lot of people here. The rain may have turned them off a little bit. This pathway is actually wheelchair compatible, so because it's that flat and kind of that soft, I'm able to make pretty good time with the knee because the knee's fine on kind of soft flat terrain. Anywho, yeah, you can see there's a rullestol or a wheelchair sign there, which is nice actually. Everyone should have access to something like this, so you can kind of get an idea of just how large this is. There are, if I remember correctly, over there, hold on, there should be toilets, and then further on here, maybe another 500 meters, maybe kilometers, a house that's got a running water that you can fill up with. So I'm going to quickly pop to the bathroom. I'm going to sit here for half an hour and have breakfast, and that is, let me just see, it's about 8 o'clock and 9.4 kilometers, so I've done probably 8.5 to 9 kilometers so far, which is honestly a lot better than I expected. Those aren't the toilets, so where are the toilets? Found the toilets. So this morning for breakfast we have a chai tea latte, which is this, with caramel. Not normally what I drink, but I've kind of got addicted to these over the last few months. These are really tasty. And pulled pork with rice. I do not know what Termat put in their meals. Crack cocaine, I don't know, but they are awesome. The chicken I had last night was absolutely fantastic. So yeah, that's breakfast. Hopefully I can find lunch along the way, and out there is my view. That's the lake just the other side of the trees, and it's just started to rain just a teeny weeny bit. In the far distance, just about there, there's a deer. There you go, it's just run away now. I remember that toilet from the last time I came this way. Let's just say it's not emptied very often. It still holds the record for the smelliest toilet on the Skåneleden. Well, actually that wasn't too bad, to be fair. It was much worse last time I came. So, Ystad, we've done now for 8 kilometers. That's where we started today, which leaves 24.4 kilometers to Ystad, and then we're done. I also discovered that it's not Snugleholm, it's not Snuggleholm, it's Snuggerholm. There's no L here, so again, apologies for all of that. So this is kind of where we've come from over the last few days. And when I did Kivik to Malmö, that was the path that I took through there. So now what we're going to do is we're going to head straight directly south, and that goes all the way down to Ystad, and that is that direction, I believe. You can probably tell it's just started raining again, which is fine. It's no problem in the forest, and I've got all my weather gear, but oh, probably better take my trekking poles or else. So yeah, so this is now the very final stage. There's no other leg of plats or anything else after this. It's just 24.5k to Ystad, and then the total hike is done, and it is a warm shower and a soft bed this evening. As you can probably hear, the rain got just a little bit heavier, so I pulled out the raincoat. I kept the hat though, because that's great. It's almost like a mini umbrella. There's only one way these forests get big, and that's with lots of rain, so not a problem. It is really bucketing it down right now. The Ystad commune sign back there pretty much marks the halfway point for today between Ystad and Ystad. So it's taken a little over 5.5 hours to get here, so I should get to Ystad 5:30, 6 o'clock ish, maybe earlier than that actually. The painkillers have done a really good job of dealing with the knee, so I'm able to hike a lot faster than I expected, and the rain is keeping it nice and cool, which also makes kind of hiking a lot easier. so it generally feels like everything's kind of aligned in my favour today, when I was pretty worried last night, I have to admit. So yeah, very roughly, let me see, about 20, no, not 22, about 20k left, 18k left, maybe a bit less, I don't know, to Ystad. And this path that I'm on now is in between fields. This is kind of typical of what I've been on, some forest, some road, something like this, but all of it are pretty easy to hike, no real struggle. So yeah, what I'm looking out for right now is the first cafe that I come across, because I'm pretty much gonna munch on everything they've got in there. This whole vista is so beautiful. Lake in the distance, farmlands, all the different colours, sky. It's amazing. I'd like to give a huge thank you to whoever it is at Skåneleden that decides to place these benches. It's the second one I've had rest at today, and these are brilliant. Not only do I love the style, because this is kind of real pure wood, this will last a million years, but they're in shade. So whether it's too sunny outside or even if it's raining, you get some shade, and that just makes it so much easier. So yeah, thank you for that. So according to my calculation, I'm approximately 14 kilometers from Ystad, that's where I am right now. But according to Skåneleden, it's only 10.5. We've covered 14.3 from Stockholm. So I'm not sure who's right, but I'm going to work on my calculation, 14. I don't think I'm going to get any kind of food until about Ystad, if I'm lucky, and then if not there, it'll be into Ystad itself, but that's okay. So yeah, that's the path we're just coming down from. This is the path we're going to. I think 14 left, but if I'm lucky 10.5, we'll see. Either way, I will definitely finish tonight. That's the first view of the sea. Going towards the end of this trip now, so there's a couple of experiments I wanted to mention. First is to see how quickly I could recover. So on day one I pushed really hard, too hard actually, I hurt myself. Day two was much shorter, and I ended up with about 15-16 hours basically, led in the tents at the end of day two to the beginning of day three, and that was enough to recover. So it's nice to actually understand that if I take a shorter day, I can recover from a very difficult day. The second experiment is to use electrolytes, and I think that might have tied into what I've just said. So I've been popping 1 or 2 of the little tablets into my flask of water at the beginning of each day. And I think that may also have helped with the recovery, so that's something I'll continue to do. And the last thing I just want to mention is that it's just started to rain and my hat's in here. The last thing I wanted to mention is the pike that I've got from Bonfus. It's a frameless pike, and I was a bit concerned because frameless pikes are well known for not sitting properly or being uncomfortable, things sticking in your back. This one's been great. What I did do for most of the trip was to have my sleeping mattress flat in like a square against the inside, against my back, on the inside of the pike, and that softened everything. Today you can see I've got the mattress on the outside because I've been using that to put onto the ground or onto benches in order to be able to sit on them because they've been wet. But the pack's still fine actually. I'm really impressed and surprised, and one nice thing is that I can reach my water bottle at the side pocket without having to take the pack off, which sounds to be like a small thing, but it's a huge thing because it's also, you know, a big problem. One negative is I bought the 2 hip belts and they're not as big as I would have liked, but I can live with that. I mean, everything's found a place quite naturally in my pockets and stuff, so it's all gone well. So yeah, this is probably the last part of the video. I'll do one more once I get down to Ystad, and then it's done. Just laid down on this track, having what is probably the last stop before I get into Ystad, for the simple reason that you can't sit down like this in civilization. And the rain's come in and the wind's picked up. It looks really grey and forlorn, but on my feet this is glorious. A little bit of cold water, a little bit of wind, very refreshing. I do approve of these little signs. You see one of them, that means to stop going in that direction because the Skåneleden's not that way. You've gone the wrong way basically, you're going the wrong way. There's at least once on this trip that stopped me from going completely the wrong direction. So I'm recording this on my phone because my GoPro just died. Finished. 5 days and 161 kilometers. All the way around there and then back down to here. It is about 4:10 to 5 right now. I'm half an hour late because I sat at a pizzeria and just scoffed myself full of a pizza salami pizza. But yeah, so finished. I hope you enjoyed the trip. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you do or you did, then you know what to do. Thank you very, very much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.